The fire was not what motivated me to go after becoming the mayor of Los Angeles. It was the months after and discovering the layers of city negligence and then the cover-ups and the lies.
It's the choice you have in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And I truly believe that if someone in Los Angeles today votes for Karen Bass, they're mentally ill. I mean, you already have the results. I want to just sort of present something here. We're going to, at some point in our lifetime, we're going to have a fitness influencer, someone who dabbled in fitness influencing, be president. It's just going to happen.
Yeah.
Because we've now grown up in this era where everyone's life is on social media for everyone to see. So things are changing. What used to be considered, outside the bounds of decorum or tradition, it's no longer particularly relevant. And so a lot of the hit jobs that take place that you've seen in the media that used to be used, they just sort of fall on deaf ears. So Spencer Pratt is running for mayor in California. Now, full disclosure, I never watched the show The Hills. As I understand it, Spencer Pratt was seen as quite a douchebag, was named like one of the top reality show villains of all time, him and his wife. They're still married, by the way, so that says something. It's very rare in Hollywood. And people saying, I can't believe that this guy, what are his qualifications to run for office? Well, remember we heard that with Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Right? When he was running, we heard, you have a reality show star as the Republican nominee. Well, no, we had someone who really in his later years actually created and was starting in a reality show as a way to build his brand because he was a real estate mogul. He was already a billionaire. This was a man who successfully run a business. And sure, you could say, all right, he has multiple divorces and he has some controversy that's followed him. But a reality show star who was a successful businessman with some controversies was running in the last election against Kamala Harris. So if your choice is reality show star who wants to close the borders, reality show star who wants to get rid of red tape, reality show star who wants to return America to our roots, versus someone who slept their way into office, came dead last in the primary when they actually tried to compete, and was then coronated because they helped cover up the demented old circus monkey's dementia, I choose the reality show star. Also because the platform is one that shares my values more readily. You're now hearing the same thing about Spencer Pratt. You're hearing, he was a reality show. 20 years ago, he's a reality show contestant. Okay. 20 years ago, you have the mayor, Karen Bass, who allegedly went to Cuba 20 times, was supporting a communist regime. Which one's worse? I just don't care anymore. I don't care. Neither one of them is qualified. One is distinctly unqualified. One is distinctly precluded from receiving your vote if you believe in any traditional American values. Los Angeles is in bad shape. And this is one thing that happens, so I always find it funny when someone who's a member of the party of the incumbent or the incumbent themselves goes, it's time for, and they list a bunch of improvements they're going to make. It's like, as opposed to what you've been doing.
Yeah.
Time for change.
From
what? That's what Kamala did that.
Yeah.
Time for change. It's your administration, dumbass.
Exactly right. Los Angeles, what has that led to? It has the single highest homeless population in the country.
Unsheltered. That matters. New York is a higher population, but they're all in shelters.
Oh, okay. Unsheltered homeless
they're
population.
On the streets.
And you guys can fact check me, check the references, links in the description. So I'm sorry.
Well, it's beautiful.
Unsheltered homeless as opposed to New York where they require shelters because it gets cold.
Yeah, exactly.
48,000.
It's insane.
In Los Angeles. The city has a $1 billion budget deficit. From 24 to 25, despite what Gavin Newsom says and soft right-wing hosts let him get away with, 54,000 people left Los Angeles County, and a lot of that was their wealth base, the largest decline in the country. So enter an unlikely hero, a guy who is running for office, who was a reality show villain, Spencer Pratt. The race is on.
The fact that our streets are safer, the fact that now we will have our street lights back on, basic city services. Those are some accomplishments.
While she leads in recent polls, Bass's support is relatively weak for an incumbent. A recent
someone who votes for her
showed 40%
today is mentally ill.
Are undecided. LA City Councilwoman Nithya Raman. She was first elected to the city council in 2020 as a Democrat and Democratic Socialist. She was reelected in 2024. Raman was an ally of LA Mayor Karen Bass, even endorsing her reelection. Then Raman launched her her surprise campaign, in large part because she feels Bass is failing to properly address the homeless crisis.
If I don't get in, and we have 4 more years of these current plans and this current direction and not a real 180 change, everyone is in big trouble. The fire was not what motivated me to go after becoming the mayor of Los Angeles. It was the months after and discovering the layers of city negligence and then the cover-ups and the lies.
I tell you what, he's actually been putting up a pretty strong campaign, which honestly, you shouldn't even need that strong of a campaign against Karen Bass, who got her start at Hasbro, to be clear.
Can you guess who is a mystery?
Does your person wear glasses?
Yes. Can you guess who is a mystery?
Does your person wear a hat?
No. Can you guess who is a mystery?
Is your person a bitch?
Yes!
Are you Karen Bass?
Yes!
Yeah, I knew it! Yeah! All right!
Guess who? It's usually the I can't think of anything else when I see Karen Bass. Now, I know people, and I see people on the right saying, like, is this the best we can put up? Maybe not. It's the choice you have in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And I truly believe that if someone in Los Angeles today votes for Karen Bass, they're mentally ill. I mean, you already have the results. You already know how this is going to go. To give you an idea, the LA quality of life satisfaction rate is at an all-time low. This is the lady who oversaw the Palisades fires. She was endorsed by Kamala Harris, which is like the black dot on the pirate ship. And as Spencer Pratt has pointed out, Bass actually did, we did get the clip, great. Formative years. She spent them propping up Castro's Cuba.
Karen Basura is a communist. Now, when I was 19, 20, I was living in an apartment on Skid Row, getting my political science degree at USC. That's as LA as it gets, dude. But do you know what Karen Basura was doing at that age? You guessed it, going to Cuba to support the communist revolution and Fidel Castro's oppressive regime? What? Karen Basura is a card-carrying member of the Communist Front Group, the Venceremos Brigade, an anti-American communist solidarity organization in which she actively worked for years to undermine the U.S. and prop up the communist revolution in Cuba? Does this sound normal to you? Who in the heck spends their 20s supporting a violent communist dictatorship in a foreign country? What were you doing at 19 years old?
And I'll give you the answer to that. Every single leftist who's run for office of note, every single Democratic socialist, at some point they've either praised, gone to contribute to, or propped up a communist or socialist dictator. That's just reality. We've done that whole segment. You can check the link in the description. This comes, by the way, from The Atlantic, so it's confirmed. She did travel, Karen Bass, to Cuba to work, quote, construction in the 1970s. Did you guys see what happened with Nick Shirley recently? Compare it to Hassan Piker going to Cuba. Oh, man, this is great.
Yeah.
While the power goes out in the city. Nick Shirley was followed by security. They stripped him of his cameras. If you are not you do not get to visit Cuba and do work there unless you are approved by the government, which means you have to be a communist sympathizer. How do I know? I've been to both Havana and Guantanamo Bay. It's well known. Anyone who gives you a glimpse of Cuba that says, actually, it's great, that is paid for and approved by the communist government. She also went with the, like you just talked about, the Venceremos Brigade, which was formed, quote, in an act of solidarity with the Cuban Revolution by working side by side with Cuban workers and challenging U.S. policies toward Cuba. By the way, Cuban Revolution, they killed a lot of people, to be clear, and thrust that country into abject poverty, jailed dissidents. People here talking about freedom of speech. You couldn't do that in Cuba.
No.
This is what this lady was doing. This is what she believes. Or you take your chances with someone who happened to be kind of a dick on a reality show.
Yeah.
I don't care anymore.
Has Karen Bass come out and distanced herself from that past? Has she renounced?
She wouldn't do
all
that because she needs the votes of those hardcore lefties.
Ah, that's right. So she still believes all of this.
Think about this for a second. Do you ever think of this? It's like when Nick DiPaolo, he says, I truly believe that the Democrat Party is an actual like threat to the United States. They're not a political party anymore. You could be in California and you could be surrounded by neighbors who would rather you live under the Castro regime. And that's not a reach. That's what they believe.
Yeah.
Why are these people in the United States? I'll give you the answer. To subvert the United States. They want to turn the United States into Castro's Cuba. They want to turn the United States into Chavez's Venezuela. They want to turn the United States into the USSR, where Bernie Sanders and Tim Walz spent a bunch of time. They want to turn the United States into Maoist China, as Anita Dunn flat out said when she looks for inspiration and advisor to Barack Obama. Why do they think that? Why are they still here? Because they want to turn this country into the countries they actually admire. Which brings us to the third candidate, Nithya Raman. She's an LA council member, Democratic Socialist, which is such a stupid term. They go, it's Democratic Socialism. Oh, okay, great.
That dresses it up.
So enough of you vote. Hey, if 20 people get together and vote to rape 5, is that virtuous? It's democracy. Now just do a couple 100,000 people voting to take someone's wealth, to take food out of their kids' mouths. That's what you see in Cuba and Venezuela. But it's democratic. She's been dubbed LA's Mamdani. Things that she believes: rent freeze, defunding the police, and of course, making sure, and this is a long video, but you need to watch this, making sure that illegals are welcome and guaranteed, of course, social benefits, taxpayer dollars. They have a home in Los Angeles.
To me, there's nothing more beautiful than how many different kinds of people call Los Angeles home. More than a third of residents in LA County were born in another country. 10% of the nation's undocumented residents live in LA and Orange County. 10% of LA County is undocumented, and 13% of all undocumented youth live in LA. Our immigrant communities are facing real threats from Trump's hostile policies. We can fight these horrors from City Council. We can support Angelenos and enact our progressive values by implementing policy that really works. We must quickly pass legally binding sanctuary city protections, where we end all cooperation and information sharing with ICE and other immigration authorities. City Hall has dragged its feet on supporting the Justice Fund, which provides counsel for those facing deportation. We must fully support this fund and expand who gets access to it.
So you
like
have to,
New York
your
and
tax
Chicago,
dollars will pay for lawyers to protect illegal aliens, including violent criminals.
That will ensure that all residents, regardless of documentation,
Can vote.
feel welcomed, safe, and part of the collective of this city. We need language justice at City Hall.
What?
As a city that represents residents who speak a range of languages, we must be committed to providing city information, interaction with city services, and access to political debate in all languages. We had so much love.
So
for our
if the
diversity
Bay Area is
and
Sodom and
cultural
Gomorrah,
Let's
LA
build a
is
city that really
Babel.
welcomes, supports, and protects our residents. No Angelino is illegal.
Sure they are.
No human is illegal.
Sure they are.
We must, and we absolutely can, pass protections at City Hall to ensure that all Angelinos can thrive.
Yeah, and here's the fundamental difference between my perspective and the left. No human is, of course, someone can be here illegally.
Yeah.
No LA residents are no. What did you say? No Angelinos are illegal. No, of course they're there illegally. Of course they are. They are not citizens of this country. They are not entitled to be in this country. That's a fundamentally different worldview.
Yeah.
So if they believe they are just as entitled as you are, even if they don't speak the language, even if they don't like this country and you have to pay for them, that's democratic socialism. This is why I can't join with the left. You see this a lot. Like we need to come together. We need to unite against a common enemy. How do you unite with someone who wants to steal from you to fund illegal criminals? That's her worldview. It's absolute insanity. And by the way, that was scrubbed. That was scrubbed from all the social. You know why? Because it's intensely unpopular now.
Yes.
People feel free to say, you know what, I don't agree with this.
Yeah, maybe everybody should speak English and we don't have 229 versions of every single thing the city produces. How about that?
Yeah.
It seems like a simpler scenario to me, and one that you can actually put into practice. Say, hey, fantastic, you came here. Here's how you learn English. You should have done this beforehand, but here, get caught up and then you can read the signs.
The truth is, this all comes down to one question. What does it mean to be an American? Does it mean anything? And the left doesn't want to ask that question because they don't want to be American. That's why they spend time in Castro's Cuba, in the USSR, praising Maduro, praising Chavez, praising Mao, take your pick. They can't, well, what does it mean to be American? If we don't have to share a language, we don't have to share a religion, we don't have to share a basic set of values, code of conduct, laws to follow, Right? That's what they're saying with that. No Angelino is illegal. Okay, so you're just as American if you don't speak English, you don't share our values, you don't follow the laws, you don't pay taxes, you don't even like this country. You're just as American as the person who follows the laws, speaks English, and will fight for this country. What does it mean to be American? What they mean is blank check and votes. They don't care. They absolutely hate America. The reason they are still here is to subvert it. Let's compare that with Spencer Pratt, reality show star. Don't care. He wants to be tough on crime. He wants treatment recovery-based homeless policy, which frankly is probably more generous than I would be. He wants improved crisis and emergency systems. He wants to reduce red tape, small businesses, which, by the way, we know a lot of businesses have left Los Angeles. And you know what? For a reality show contestant who has come across as prickly in the past, he's actually done a pretty good job with his campaign game right now.
This is where Mayor Bass lives. You notice something? Or here, where Nithya Raman's $3 million mansion sits. They don't have to live in the mess they've created where you live. This is where I live. They let my home burn down. I know what the consequences of failed leadership are. That's why I'm running for mayor. For my sons and the rest of us Angelinos that want to stop these corrupt politicians from destroying our city. We are going to get the golden age of Los Angeles back. Nithya Raman saying it doesn't matter if homeless drug addicts are shooting up, defecating, and exposing themselves to your kids right in front of their schools. The insanity that women are exposed to every day in Los Angeles ends when I'm the mayor.
Do you want the house tour? I could take you to the first, second, third floor. And I promise none of this is a metaphor. I just want you to come inside. Baby, what's...
Now, I wouldn't have bet that he's going to win this, to be clear. There have been a lot of people who've tried. He is leading in fundraising right now, though. That's significant. It's Collage C6. And I still wouldn't bet that he would win. I still think you should get out and vote if you're in Los Angeles. Comment below if you're a resident. But I will tell you this. I'm a little more convinced when I've tuned in to the left's programming, and I see that there's a genuine fear amongst them that this guy's going to win.
People in California really are excited about him.
By the way, kind of seems like he's going to win.
I think so.
I
know.
You know, Karen Bass, like, she does not have a lot of people going for her.
I could see him winning.
He's got a lot of momentum.
I think so.
Yeah.
Rogan just endorsed him.
Oh, Rogan, the great mind
I know.
of the universe. Rogan. What a idiot.
Oh my God!
Yeah, but I don't even know your name.
Yeah. When's the last? You may say that Rogan is not a member of Mensa. Fine. When's the last time you actually hosted like a bioengineer? When's the last time you hosted a nuclear physicist? When's the last time you hosted a Nobel Prize winner? It's
the last time anyone cared about your endorsement. I don't even know his name. I don't even know who that guy is.
It's a nighttime gossip show hosted by a homosexual. So anyone else could maybe say like, oh, Rogan's an idiot, except for you. And by the way, could he win? He's at 11% to Bass's 25% right now.
Yeah.
Undecided is 40%.
That's a lot, dude.
And you know what that means? That undecided is, well, I'm a lifelong liberal and I'm selfish and I want stuff for me, but I was promised a bunch of greedy bullshit that didn't come to fruition. So these people are going to be voting out of their own selfish interests, but still, that could lead them to voting for anyone other than Karen Bass. Which actually brings us to a Kalshi check-in right now. As far as the betting odds, Bass is at 28%. Raman is at 56%?
Yeah, jeez.
That's bizarre. Pratt is at 18%.
I think they believe that most of that 40 is going to break for her.
I guess they are. They think probably because of Mamdani. They probably think, you know what,
or because of the D next to her name.
Yeah.
Because people don't want Bass anymore.
No,
Bass is out. I don't even think that's a question. I think Bass is out. I think this is between Pratt and whatever her name was.
Yeah,
Raman.
How fast
Top Raman.
do you think we get into identity politics in this race if it ends up being between the two, where she talks about white guy?
She's already in it.
100%.
She's already doing identity politics. It's all they do.
Yep.
Yeah. But we even called this out. Do you remember the undercover story that we had with one of the Mamdani campaign officials talking about how this is kind of a test case for Mamdani and they've got people around the country they want to go to next? That's what's happening right now. Her surprise launch of her campaign came after Mamdani won. That's the entire agenda right now. And so as Republicans and conservatives, you've got to get good candidates to run in these races. And I'm not saying he's not one. He may be one. But it's not like we've put up our best and brightest against this offensive yet.
Right.
And you really have to do that because there's a lot of people out there that want to come out and vote for something different. But when you give them an opportunity to vote and it really doesn't seem like a serious candidate, like in New York, it didn't seem like a very serious candidate, unfortunately. They go, well, I'm not going to switch my vote for that.
Well, Spencer Pratt's not really coming out of the RNC pipeline, is he? He's not. He's not like GOP endorsed or like a Republican.
Yeah.
Well, you're saying they don't have any serious Republican candidate. I don't even know who was supposedly running for mayor of Los Angeles that was a Republican.
Yeah, I mean, I will tell.
Are they even trying?
I think at one point Larry Elder did, or was he running for?
He ran, I thought, for governor.
Was it governor?
California.
Yeah, that's quite a bit more difficult. I'll tell you this, though. I see this trend now of people who claim to be on the right, MAGA, people who claim to be America First, and they go, it's still because I want to help Americans and I don't want wars, over whatever it is, insert entitlements here. They go, so I don't care about right versus left, and they'll vote for the socialist. Let me ask you, who do you think engineered, quote unquote, woke? Where do you think that comes from? And do you think, considering that this goes back to the founder of the feast, when you talk about Marx, when you talk about communism, Marxism, socialism, and the necessity of identity politics, do you really think that you can uncouple democratic socialists from language being compelled and enforced and gender being eliminated? And do you really think that you can remove the woke from that? It's foundational to the worldview. So when people go, yeah, but at least they're going to be looking out for helping Americans because it's just a foreign policy issue. Realize that the Bernie bros out there who are returning to their roots, and we can see these analytics, right? We saw Bernie bros come into the Trump fold, and now they're going back to the Bernie bro fold. You will vote in Canada. You will vote in Europe, not the least of which is immigration policy. You will never vote for a Democrat candidate. As long as you live, you will never be able to vote for a Democrat candidate who will shun wokeness, social engineering, censorship, open borders. Even if they campaign on being moderate, they can't do it once they're in office. It's forbidden for a member of the Democrat Party. So be very, very careful when you talk about linking arms with these people. Yeah, it's democratic socialism. At least it's more looking out for Americans. There can be a national view of socialism. Not if you want a nation where you're allowed to speak freely, defend yourself, and you believe that we should have secure borders. It won't happen. You'll never be able to vote for a Democrat who actually supports those things. Also, we've obtained the newest campaign ad announcing a fourth candidate who's also known for reality TV.
Hi, I'm Johnny Knoxville, and this is Los Angeles.
Don't fact check that. Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw, you can click around and watch one of these videos on YouTube, or head on over to Rumble and subscribe, where I am live every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern. Live on Rumble. YouTube is dead. Rumble did it. And on Rumble, you can say